For our first speech titled, It's All Just a Big Misunderstanding.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim Anderson. I am a spokesperson for ABC Telecom Service. The reason that I'm standing before you today is because you've probably seen in the news a great deal of discussion about what's currently being called EPS, also known as exploding phone syndrome. Obviously, my company, as a member of the telecommunications community, is very concerned about this, and we wanted to take this as an opportunity to address this issue, to clear up any misconceptions, and to make sure that everybody has the same understanding of this particular syndrome. So it might be good for us to start our discussion with a clear understanding of exactly what EPS is. What appears to be happening is people who have either a landline or a mobile phone seem to be receiving a phone call. This phone call starts with about 4 to 5 seconds of sort of a mechanical, high-pitched noise, and then their handset or landline seems to explode. Now, clearly, as a telecommunication provider, we don't like it when this happens, and that's not really what our devices are designed to do. So we've put a technical team on this to look into exactly what seems to be going on. And I have some fantastic news for you. We believe we've identified the source of the problem for this. What appears to be happening is some rogue computers have a great deal of data that they're attempting to deliver. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to reach out and find another computer to deliver it to. They seem to have gotten very confused, and they're calling people's personal cell phone or landline numbers. What happens is they establish a connection and then attempt to deliver their data. Now, what I need to be really clear about is we're talking about a lot of data here. My technicians tell me that they describe it as being a petabyte. A petabyte appears to be a great deal of data. Now, clearly your landline phone or even your mobile phone was never designed to receive a petabyte of data. What appears to happen is very quickly your phone becomes full of data, and then the rogue computer continues to send more and more data. Clearly not designed for this. What happens is eventually your phone fills up and explodes. Now, we're looking into exactly what we can do to prevent this from happening. We've identified 3 steps that you can take to prevent either your mobile or your landline phone from suffering an EPS situation. The very first one is our technicians have identified the fact that in each one of the situations where a end user's phone exploded, they had received or answered a phone call from a number they did not recognize. So we've heard some of our customers mention that, look, I'm not going to use my phone, I'm never going to answer the phone, I'm stepping away from the phone. We'd like to inform you that you don't have to do that. Okay? You're more than welcome to continue to receive and to have conversations with friends and family members and any numbers that you recognize. You won't have any problems with it. You won't have an EPS incident with a number that you recognize. Now, also, today's modern cell phones come with the option of turning off your data plan. Now, we make a great deal of money from your data plan, so we don't really recommend that as an overall solution. But if you receive a phone call from a number that you do not recognize, we would urge you to turn off your data plan, answer the phone call. If it is an EPS call, it won't really matter because your phone can't receive any data. When the call is over, you can then reactivate your data plan, and you will continue to receive Facebook pokes and pictures of dancing cats. What happened? There was a third one, but I can't remember what it is right now. But that's fine. There's a number of different things that you can do to be. Oh, I remember the third one is today's modern phones have the ability to have you add a SIM card to it. Now, a SIM card is a very small piece of memory storage. It comes in basically 3 different flavors. You can get 16 gig, 32 gig, or up to 64 gigs of storage. By adding additional storage to your cell phone, should you happen to answer a phone call from one of these rogue computers, it would buy you additional time for you to hang up. So if you heard the high-pitched mechanical whine, you know that it was a rogue computer calling you, trying to send you a great deal of data. You could very quickly hang up. If you outfitted your mobile handset with one of these SIM cards, you would have enough of a buffer that probably you would have no problems receiving that type of phone call as long as you hung up very quickly. Now, we are looking actively into ways to prevent EPS situations from happening in the very first place. What we're discovering is that there's a whole series of different computers that are making these calls, so you can well imagine it's a little bit of a challenge for us to unplug them, but we're doing that as quickly as we can. What we're planning on doing is setting up a national number repository where we keep track of what numbers these computers are using. We're planning on doing a push out to everybody's mobile phone with a new application that will cause your phone to not answer calls when you receive a call from one of these numbers, so that basically you don't even have to worry about receiving an EPS type of phone call. So we think that it's going to be a good situation. Now that won't help you with your landlines, but what we're going to do for your landlines is we're going back to our computers, the computers that run the phone network, and we're updating them with new software. So if a call is going out to a landline, we identify it as one of the numbers that's in our repository, as being one of those real computer numbers. We will prevent the phone call from even reaching your home. So we're hoping that these combination of these two particular events will eliminate the possibility of anybody getting an EPS phone call in the first place. We're not sure what's caused this particular problem, although we would like to point out that a number of our other competitors in the telecom industry have had a number of layoffs. And so there's a lot of very talented software engineers out there. It's entirely possible an angry ex-employee from one of our competitors perhaps has done something that causes this. We don't know for certain, but we'll certainly work with the authorities to look into it. And we hope that we'll be able to solve the problem of EPSs as quickly as possible. And I appreciate your time and your attention today. Now, Mr. Toastmaster, I'd like to take 3 to 5 minutes to answer any questions that the audience may have about either EPS, EDS, which is exploding desktop syndrome, ETS, with the exploding tablet syndrome, and also, ELS, exploding laptop syndrome. Kieran, do you have a question for me?
Question, can I use my phone has the ability to limit the data. Can I use that to prevent an EPS?
You can, but what you want to be very careful about is if you connect your phone to a computer. So a lot of people like to use their cell phone as sort of I guess we call it a fancy modem perhaps, but a way to connect into the network with the laptop. If you do that and then you receive a call on your phone, what our technicians have told us is that very quickly your phone will fill up with the data. Then the connection to your laptop will be used to store more data on your laptop. And although your laptop or tablet may also have additional storage, which is fantastic, a lot of modern laptops have a great deal of storage, it's not going to have a petabyte of storage. So in that particular situation, what could actually happen is both your phone and your connected device could both explode. So we would urge you to be very careful in that particular situation. Sir?
Do you know, is the iBomb 3G affected by this, the older model?
The interesting thing is the older model is. However, if you have some of the older cell phones, you're actually going to be in safe hands. The one model that we've tested that seems to have no problems with it whatsoever is the Motorola StarTAC, if you recall that. So anyone who's still using the Motorola StarTAC, you don't have a problem whatsoever. You've got some other problems, but this particular problem is going to bypass you right away. So once again, StarTAC, always a good phone. I think it's continuing to show its methods. Sir?
Sir, have you had any EPS-related events with phones inside of pants pockets?
It's actually, sadly, yes. It is Fashion Week, and unfortunately, there was a broadcast call sent to apparently a lot of people in New York, and it was actually during one of the Dior show, of course, right? It's interesting, though, thankfully, and I can't, the technical details are a little bit beyond me, but apparently the faceplate was pointing out. So although there was damage to the garments, I'm very pleased to mention that apparently there was no injuries to the individuals. So far, so good. But you bring up an excellent point. If you're storing your cell phones anywhere on your body, I would suggest that you store glass out, just in case you automatically, because voicemail could also cause some problems. Are there any more? Sir, yes.
Yes, if I don't have unlimited data on my cell phone, what is the upcharge to receive a petabyte of
Well,
data?
that's actually an excellent point, because you will go through your data plan based on what my technicians tell me in roughly 10 seconds. Okay, and so that'll be a problem. Now, what's interesting, and one of the things that ABC Telecom brings to the table, is that if you don't have our unlimited data plan, we'll cut you off. So, although it's sort of a horse race between whether or not you exceed the data that your cell phone can have, or whether or not you exceed your monthly allocation for data and stuff like that. Depending on which one you reach first, if you run out of your allocation, you're probably fine, because you will be able to receive the petabyte. If you are a member of our unlimited data plan, which is truly industry leading and novel from our point, you've got a problem that you're going to actually have to work through. Joel, sir.
Is a petabyte more or less than a petabyte?
Unfortunately, Joel, and this is something we don't really like to discuss, a petabyte is actually a great deal of storage of illegal pictures of small children. Okay, so I'm not sure how much that would be, but I don't think you'd want to actually go down that path. Yes.
2 questions. When did this start?
The very first calls came into our customer support center 2 days ago,
Oh.
right? But they were unconfirmed, and unfortunately, there was nothing for us to investigate, of course, because the phone had exploded. So there was actually a phone that half exploded, and at that point in time, we had an opportunity to actually take a look at the remains of it and actually get to the bottom of what was
Wait.
going on.
The second question is there an exchange number or is part of like 813, the area code that might be helpful?
Sadly, no. They all seem to be coming from different areas, and if there was one particular area, we could just like block out like New Mexico or something like that. But unfortunately, because they're coming from computers, and those computers can be located anywhere, and they're very, very inventive as to what number they use. So great thought. We've looked into that, but it doesn't seem to be that. So,
Now, another member in our audience asked you the difference between a petabyte and a petabyte, but I thought that the petabyte was the pedophile byte. So,
it's interesting, and it depends on what part of New York you're from. If you're from the northern part of New York, you would be correct, but for the rest of the country, no. Sir, last question, sir. Last question.
What are the chances the story we are hearing is a fake story?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
What are the chances what we are hearing is a fake story?
A fake story. Originally we had some doubts because we had never heard of anything like this happening before. But it turns out that there's actually 3 videos on YouTube, and you can just look up EPS on YouTube, and what you'll discover is that actually just at like a birthday party, somebody was taking some video anyway, and then somebody got a phone call. So it's very clearly something that is truly happening. Because remember, if you see it on YouTube, it's pretty much gospel at that point. Okay, one last. Just because.
Is it true? I heard that if you use the Super Contra code, it'll make your phone not blow up. Up, down, left, right, B, select start.
No, but if you're in the 4th level of Mario Super Kart, you will actually pull ahead of the donkey if you do that. So thank you, I appreciate that. I believe that's all the time we have today.
That's fun.
We use the next following minutes for you to write your notes on Dr. Jim's speech. I believe I have a minute to speak.